Sorry for the hiatus. We had to get our lives together for a week.
Still have to get our lives together.
Still have to get our lives together, but at least you'll have like a week of content in between.
We're back. Welcome to another episode of Boomer Bust the Draft Show. Max Chadwick, PJ Clark, Tate, Sigworth, and Nick Merriam wrapping up our 2021 NFL draft coverage with our draft grades. We apologize for the week off. We kind of needed the week off after the draft, where three of us are graduating college in a couple weeks. So pretty hectic time for us, not going to lie. But we wanted to get this done. We wanted to get the 2021 stuff done. Of course, we have more stuff coming. We're already scouting for 2022, so we're excited for that. But we want to finish up the 2021. So we're going to finish with the AFC first, and NFC will be coming later on in the week. So we're going to go through team by team and give our grades for every AFC team in the 2021 NFL Draft. Of course, follow our Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Boom or Bust Draft. Hit the merch store as well. Leave comments below. And please continue supporting us, because support for us is brought to you by that right there, Manscaped, who, by the way, this is about to go out of style pretty soon. The Lawnmower 3.0, Lawnmower 4.0 dropping soon, which we are very, very pumped.
It's out now. It's out now, even.
It is out now. Yeah, we're getting sent really soon. So breaking news, this important PSA is brought to you by Manscaped.com. This is your pubic service announcement. And the news you've all been waiting for: the Manscaped engineering team has confirmed that they have successfully created the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which is now available for purchase in the USA and Canada. This new trimmer was just released only moments ago, and we were one of the first to get our hands on it and share the news. So please, again, join over 2,000,004 men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you: 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code BOOMERBUST. That is BOOMERBUST, all caps, no spaces, at manscaped.com. We are very pumped. We know it's en route right now, the Lawnmower 4.0. We've seen the pictures of it that Dominic has sent us, and we are so excited. So make sure you guys get your hands on it too. Get 20% off, get free shipping with the code BOOMERBUST, all caps, no spaces, at manscaped.com. Again, Boomer Bust, all caps, no spaces. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. So let's go through every division. So how we're going to do this is each person takes one team per division, and we're going to run through the teams right now. So AFC North, start off with the Bengals, PJ. What did you like or what did you dislike? What grade are you giving the Bengals?
I first off, I'll throw the grade out there. I'm giving them a B-, which is I feel like fair. I was pretty staunch on I would take Sewell over Chase at 5. They disagreed. They took Jamar Chase, which is fine. You're reuniting Burrow and Chase, I guess. But then you had to come up and get a quality tackle in the second round. And I got Jackson Carman, who I like, but I think is going to be a guard that those tackle spots. Jonah Williams is fine. Riley Reef is fine. It's not a long-term answer. There were guys that I liked better on the board. Jackson Carman's a good player, but I didn't love it. I would have gone Sewell and then another wide receiver, maybe Terrace Marshall, another LSU guy in the second round. I would have liked that way more than what they ended up with. Joe Osai, I liked it. 69, good value. Nice. Cameron Sample, good edge. Tyler Shelvin's going to eat up a lot of room, get double teams, so those two new rookie edges are going to be able to come off the edge and contribute. Trey Hill was a good pick later in the round, but I hated and he's even my guy on the kicking side, Evan McPherson at 149. Spending a top 150 pick on a kicker is kind of hard. So I'm giving him a B-. I would have taken Sewell is the end result.
All right, my Cleveland Browns. Call me a homer, but I've got him as the second highest graded team. I got a B+ on him. I was kind of stingy. He's second highest team, got a B+, so it's a good draft for them. Greg Newsome, Jeremiah Wusu-Koroma at 52. 2 steals, A+ picks in my opinion. Anthony Schwartz was a good pickup, add some depth, and then they filled out the roster, created some interesting positional battles for training camp. Demetric Felton as their last pick at 211 is a super interesting pick, giving Baker another weapon. And then Marvin Wilson, UDFA Marvin Wilson, I thought was an awesome pickup. Didn't need to spend a draft pick on him. They went Tommy Togiai earlier, so now they got 2 interior young guys to bring onto that roster. So yeah, I mean, I thought that was a great draft from Cleveland.
I was also quite stingy with the grades. Baltimore is also my second highest grade, and I have them at a B plus. Quite a few things that I liked in this draft. Didn't really have any bad picks outside of Brennan Stevens in the third round. He was just a guy I didn't know at the time, and I just even if the tape did check out, like he's a guy that people haven't really heard of, and you're spending a day two pick on, so you probably could have gotten him later in the draft. But Rashad Bateman falls to him at 27. We talked at length about how great a fit he is in this offense. Odafe Owe, get yourself an athletic edge rusher for a team that has developed edge rushers really well. Ben Cleveland, third round, a guy I liked in the second round. I think more manpower to that rushing offense. Tylan Wallace, another kind of Rashad Bateman light, if you will, and on the outside needed those
Day
weapons.
three
Play
pick.
on the outside.
Tylan
Great
Wallace.
pick.
Love
Day
it.
three pick.
I hate that the Ravens got him, man. It's the worst. I hate that the Ravens got him because I'm a Steelers fan, and the Steelers had a horrific draft. I'm going to give him a C minus because I don't want to give any D's or F's. I don't want to give any D's or F's and get old takes exposed. Nice. I don't want to get old takes exposed if this ends up turning out pretty good. So
4 years from now, somebody you don't talk to might quote tweet it and have that out there.
Yeah, he might. He might do that. I did not love this draft for the Steelers. So just to put it into context of how bad this draft was, the Steelers' highest rated player that they picked for me on my board was their 6th round pick in Quincy Roche, who I actually really like. I had him as a top 40 grade. But still, when your 216th overall pick is the highest ranked player on my board, you're not doing a lot of things right. Pat Frymuth, I like that pick too. But other than that, man, a lot of reaches. He took Najee Harris, which we've talked about many times over, was a terrible pick. They didn't really address the offensive tackle until the 4th round, and even then took Dan Moore Jr. from Texas A&M and took another Texas A&M guy, Buddy Johnson, linebacker, who, again, I did not have a high grade. I had a late day 3 grade on him. Isaiah Loudermilk, great name. I don't know if he's a great player in the 5th round. Kendrick Green, who I know you guys like a lot. I like him, but I think 87 was a little too high for him. And then they took Presley Harvin with their last pick, which is fine. He was one of the last picks of the draft, but still, Max Duffy, I think, is easily punter 1. So it was just it was such a confusing draft, man. I don't know what they did. Roethlisberger's gonna get killed. The O-line is still bad. I'm gonna give the Steelers a C minus. So let's go to the AFC South now. PJ, what do you got for the Colts?
The Indianapolis Colts had a really interesting weekend. Their number one need, we talked about it a lot, was you need to replace Anthony Casonzo. You need to replace Anthony Casonzo. They didn't do that, which I thought was really, really curious. So you took Kwity Paye at 21, which is fine. That's a good pick at 21. That's about where I would have taken him. I think, again, they have a very good defensive staff. Matt Eberflus and Robert Mathis is on staff now, a great pass rusher. He's going to teach Kwity Paye how to rush off the edge. Then you double down on edge with my guy, Deo Dengbo, in the 2nd round, who I love. And again, good coaching staff. He's going to be really good there if he comes back from the Achilles. 54, a little higher than I would have taken him with the Achilles injury. First off, he's not going to play this year, but you double down on edge rushers. Then you go Kylan Granson, Sean Davis, who's terrible, Sam Ellinger, who I guess is backing up Carson Wentz now, Mike Strahan, who's a big wide receiver, fits the Carson Wentz mold at least, and then, Penn State legend Will Fries as your one offensive tackle. I didn't love any of this. I would have prioritized the tackle position. I do really like the 2 edges they got, and they have a lot of potential, so I'm giving it a C, but the tackle position was missing there for me.
So I got the Titans.
Moving over to Jacksonville. First overall pick, Trevor Lawrence. Urban Meyer said in a day 2 interview, or before day 2 on ESPN interview, that it was hard to mess up the first round when you picked Trevor Lawrence. Well, you did that, Urban.
They still did. Don't worry.
Travis Etienne at 25 as his 3rd down running back. Bizarre, awful pick. I like Travis. He's running back 1 to me, but what do we do in Jacksonville? Tyson Campbell, first pick in the 2nd round. I don't know. There are probably better corners available. Not probably. There were better corners available. Walker Little, it's a fine pick at 45 overall. I'm not the highest on Walker Little, but they needed a tackle. They got to get Trevor some protection. Andre Cisco, our Syracuse boy, going at 65. They needed a safety, and they got him. Jay Tufele, who's fine. And then their last 3 picks, Jordan Smith, Luke Farrell, and Jalen Camp. The 3 UDFA big names they got, Dylan Moses, DJ Daniel, and Josh Imatorbhebhe. If those were their 3 last picks, I would like this draft class a lot more if they just didn't do these Jordan Smith, Luke Farrell, and Jalen Camp picks. So I've got a C+ for them, 28th overall. So not a great draft pick, but if they just drafted those 3 UDFA guys in that order, I mean, I guess they got better names, better value at UDFA, but yada yada. C+ for me for Jacksonville.
You got
Nick,
Trevor Lawrence.
sorry.
You got
No,
Trevor
you go.
Lawrence, and you're still at a bad draft, man. Like, God, jeez.
It's hard
I'm
to
worried
do.
about
It's
Urban.
hard to do.
I'm worried about
We
Urban
talked
Meyer.
about Urban. We talked about it. Shouldn't be apologizing, Tate. We have an order we usually go in, and my bad. B- for the Titans. Have them 15th overall. So better than you improved more than half of the league, in my opinion. I kind of like this draft. Caleb Farley starting out was kind of it was a B- pick. Like, it's fine. They needed a corner. He's had injury concerns galore. We'll see if he's healthy. If he is, I think he can be a very, very good player. Could be the best corner in this draft class, but it's a risk. And they've taken some risks at corner in the past, so they need this one to work out. I like the Dylan Radins pick a lot in the second round. Get yourself that right tackle. The Isaiah Wilson pick did not work out. Now you're getting a guy who I think can fit into that offense and help them run through Derrick Henry a little more. Liked Monty Rice in the third round. I thought that was a fine pick. Elijah Molden at 100 to play nickel. Great pickup. That is a steal and a half. And then it got a little weird. They traded up for Des Fitzpatrick to try and fit that wide receiver spot. They didn't draft one too early, which was kind of an issue. And I wouldn't have taken him as high as they did. Rashad Weaver was a good value pick in the 4th round as an edge player. We'll see what he's got some things going on too. We'll see if he ends up playing at all due to off fields. And then Racey McMath, big, not good. I don't really know. They went for 2 big kind of meh receivers. Did like Brady Breeze in the 6th round. He'll be more of a special teamer, but just a solid B- draft to me. I think they filled some spots in, but it wasn't, amazing, but they did a fine job.
Yeah, so I had the Texans. They didn't pick until the 3rd round. So first pick was Davis Mills, which on the surface level makes sense because obviously it's a team that needs a quarterback with the whole Deshaun Watson situation. But I don't think it really makes any sense because your first pick should not be a 3rd round quarterback when this is going to be one of the worst teams in football next year and could be in the Spencer Rattler, Sam Howell sweepstakes. So I don't really love the Davis Mills pick at 67. Nico Collins, again, a little bit of a reach, but I don't hate it at 89. And then Brevin
you traded
Jordan,
up for Nico Collins.
Yeah,
you had no
traded
picks
up for
to
Nico
begin
Collins.
with, and then you traded up for Nico Collins.
And then 5th round, you got Brevin Jordan, I thought was a great pick for them. So I like that pick. Garrett Wallow and Roy Lopez or whatever in the 5th and 6th round. But Davis Mills, as their first pick, I don't love it. It's really, they're going to be picking probably in the top 3 next year and probably taking one of those quarterbacks next year. So Davis Mills, I don't think will be the quarterback for the Texans in the future. So we'll see. But I give the Texans a C right now. It was a meh draft for the Texans. So let's go over to the AFC East with your Jets. PJ, what do you got?
So I'm giving them an A-. I think the first 3 picks were slam dunks on all of them. You knew they were taking Zach Wilson. I understand the trading up for Elijah Vera Tucker, a guard. I think he plays right tackle next year when George Fant is gone. But they had ammo to use. They had 21 picks in the next 2 drafts. All these guys can't make the team. They traded up for a stud. So I'm not knocking them for it. Elijah Moore was something that I don't think a lot of people saw coming necessarily, but a good player nonetheless, going to replace Jameson Crowder in the slot next year. And Michael Carter, the first 4 picks were just surrounding Zach Wilson with talent. And then they have a lot of problems in the secondary, and they tried to solve all of them. So they took athletes like Michael Carter to play slot corner, Jason Pinnock to play outside, and then Hamza Nasruddin at 186 might be the best value pick of the draft, a top 40 player for me who fell because he's got a lot of medical concerns. He's got a shoulder. He has an ACL that he barely played this year because of, but they're going to play him a weak side linebacker, which is his position where he should be playing, not safety. Kenny Yeboah, Hamilcar Rashed, two good UDFAs. I'm giving this Jets draft an A-, and I'm excited to see what they do next year with the extra picks as well.
Yeah, interested to see how all those corners and linebacker safeties work out. But the Buffalo Bills, I've got a B grade on them. I thought it was just a, fine draft. Greg Rousseau, 1st round, Carlos Basham in the 2nd round, just doubling down on edges. Interesting. So a lot of the Bills' edges are getting older, so those guys will play pretty soon. And Greg Rousseau could be an interior guy. Carlos Basham also could be an interior guy, moving around, gap versatility, yada yada. Spencer Brown, Tommy Doyle, then doubling down on tackles. 2 interesting picks. I know we're not the highest on Spencer Brown here. A little bit more of a project. Same with Tommy Doyle, I think, too. So 2 more interesting picks. Marquez Stevenson, fine. They need a wide receiver. They needed to get one at some point. He's, I don't know, at 203. I don't really hate that pick. And then DeMar Hamlin, Rashad Wildgoose. I actually do like 212 and 213 back to back. So yeah, I don't know. I've got a B on it. I think it was a fine draft. Nothing to really, pick on or nitpick.
The Dolphins, this is a draft that a lot of people seem to like. I don't really agree. I have them as the 20th best draft. Got a C plus on them. Uh, Started out with Jalen Waddle, trading a first round pick to go get Jalen Waddle. I had him, I was the lowest on Waddle of us four, had him as wide receiver 14th on my board. I was just have some route running concerns, usage concerns. I think receiver was a need, but not more than tackle. And I just think when Penei Sewell was on the board and you trade up for that guy, it's a bit of a miss in my opinion. Jalen Phillips, fine pick. Was a little bit of a reach for me, but I like the upside, and I think in this defense particularly, I like that pick. So that was one of the good picks. Javon Holland, Liam Eichenberg, even trading up for Eichenberg. I love both of those second round picks. And Hunter Long, I know they emphasize tight ends. This is a guy that I kind of was met on. Had him as like a fourth rounder. They took him early in the third. It's a third tight end on the roster. I don't really know if they needed it. And then they ended out with Larnell Coleman and Jared Dokes are just, probably not going to make the roster, to be honest with you. So it was just a kind of meh draft for me. I did like the second round picks, but outside of that, I just thought they did fine, but they could have done better at a lot of positions.
Yeah, so I had the Patriots. I'm going to give them an A. So they started off with two Alabama players, and Mac Jones and Christian Barmore. I like the Mac Jones pick at 15. It's actually right where I take him. I had him 14th overall on my board. So you get good value there in Mac Jones. Awesome value in Christian Barmore at 38. I had a top 15 grade for me. Him falling all the way to 38, I think is outstanding value. And then you go from two Alabama players in round 1 and 2 to two Oklahoma players in round 3 and 4, and Ronnie Perkins and Ramondre Stevenson. Like both of those picks, Perkins I think it was a really good steal at 96, and Stevenson at 122. I like him a lot. I think he's going to be a good running back in that system. And then the rest of day 3, 5, their 5th round pick, their 2 6th round picks, Cam McGrone, Josh Bledsoe, William Sherman, and then Trey Nixon in the 7th. They're all fine, but man, if you kill rounds 1 through 4 like they did, you're going to get an A in my book. So the Patriots had an excellent draft in my opinion, especially on day 1, day 2, and even early day 3. I think they were really, really good. So let's finish it out, PJ, with the AFC West. What do you got for the Broncos?
They were so close, man. They were so close. They were so close. I'm giving them an A minus. It would have been an A had they taken Justin Fields instead of Patrick Surtain. It would have been an A plus if they took Justin Fields. But you take Patrick Surtain, which, given the circumstances, I don't necessarily agree with. He's a very good player. We've been over this 1,000 times, but you had to take Justin Fields there. Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock is not the answer. Traded up for Javonte Williams, who I actually like in that scheme. I think he's a very good player. He was RB1 for 3 out of the 4 of us, but trading up for a running back is never good. Quinn Miners, great pick, great value at 98. I expected him to be off the board way more than that. Baron Browning as the last pick of the 3rd round. Love that. Expected him to be off the board before that. Caden Stearns and Jamar Johnson, you're just adding to that already good secondary. A lot of talent there. Vic Fangio is a creative defensive guy. Seth Williams at 219. The Bo Nix thing was clearly held against him. I wouldn't want to play football with Bo Nix as my quarterback either. Kerry Vincent as your last pick. Jonathan Cooper at UDFA. I mean, this is a slam dunk class if you drafted the franchise quarterback. But even then, it's still an A minus for me. It's painful that Justin Fields is not a Denver Bronco.
Yeah, I did mine rankings mathematically kind of, and the Broncos would have been the 3rd highest team for me if they drafted Justin Fields. So, whoopsies. Over to the Chargers. I've got a B minus on them. Rashawn Slater at 13, awesome draft pick. Asante Samuel at 47 is also, I think, an awesome draft pick. 2 good fits and 2 awesome values at 13 and 47. Josh Palmer at 77 maybe was a little high, but I really didn't hate it too much. Trey McKitty at 97 as tight end 5 before Jordan. Not so sure about that one. Chris Rumpf at 118, also another solid pick. And then, I don't know, the rest of the picks were just fine. Mark Webb at 241 was a B plus for me. But yeah, so I've got a B minus for the Chargers, 17th overall. I don't know, another fine draft, just kind of like the Bills one.
Seemingly a draft that people are like really high on too, the Chargers. I liked it.
I mean, it was solid.
Yeah. I
didn't think it really
Stanley
messed
is
up
going to
anywhere
make
besides
Chris
Trey
Rumpf
McKitty.
the greatest edge rusher of all time.
He is.
I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah, he's a dog.
I can see it. All right, so the Chiefs, I gave a B. And just to show you how stingy my grades were, they got a B, and they were my 6th highest draft grade. I actually really liked what they did. So Nick Bolton, the first pick, was like fine. I gave that it's a very solid B pick. Like, linebacker was kind of a need. It's not a super important position. He wasn't necessarily the best linebacker on the board at the time, but he's a solid player. I think he's a high floor. He'll help them in the run game a bit. He'll help them get their calls right on the defensive side of the ball. Fine pick. Needed a center. Creed Humphrey was great value in the second round. I like taking a flyer on Josh Kando as an athletic edge rusher in the fourth round. Need more athleticism there. Noah Gray was kind of the one pick that I didn't like. I didn't have him as a draftable prospect, and it was a tight end that he won't play, to be honest with you, because they have Travis Kelce and they don't run a whole lot of two tight end sets. Cornell Powell at the end of the fifth, great value. They needed a starting receiver. This guy legitimately, PJ's talked about it, high floor guy. He's not going to blow you away with any of his traits, but he's a guy who can fit in and kind of just do the little things for you on the outside and maybe a little bit in the slot. And then Trey Smith in the sixth. If that medicals check out, he's a long-term starter at guard or tackle for this team on the offensive line. That is a slam dunk A+, I think, at the end of day three, and a solid draft for me for Kansas City.
Yeah, I love that Trey Smith pick. Finish it out with the Raiders. They had a roller coaster of a draft. So if you watch our live draft show, their first pick at 17, Alex Leatherwood they took, who we all had low day three. Low day two, I think. So that was bad. And then 43, they took Trayvon Merrick, which was a great pick. And we're like, okay, wait, maybe they're doing something here. And then at 79 on day two, they took Malcolm Kuntz. And we're like, okay, now maybe they don't know what they're doing. They just want another Buffalo edge rusher, man. Khalil Mack 2.0, according to Mike Mayock, who had him above Clowney back in the Raiders. And then at 80, they took Divine Diablo, who we all love. And we're like, wow, this is a great pick. And then day three was whatever, Tyreek Gillespie, Nate Hobbs, and Jimmy Morrissey. But, man, I'm going to give him a C just because the first round pick was terrible. Second round pick, great. The first third round pick, terrible. Second, third round pick, great. So it was just like a roller coaster of roller coasters for the Raiders.
It's a lot of safeties.
Safeties. There are 3 safeties they took in their first, 5 picks?
Yeah, it's a lot of safeties.
And the defense that plays single high.
An interesting draft for sure. Yeah, for defense plays single high. So yeah, that's what we got for the AFC. Our 16 grades for the AFC, NFC coming later on this week. But of course, follow our Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Boom or Bust Draft. Hit manscaped.com. Use the promo code Boom or Bust to get Lawnmower 4.0, which is very, very exciting. Hit the merch store as well. Get anything you want there. And yeah, we love being back here with you guys. So please comment below what you thought of your team's draft. So for PJ Clark, Tate Sigworth, and Nick Merriam, I'm Max Chadwick. Have a great night.